Imagine this. A man in Cappadocia, Turkey in 1963. He's renovating his house, knocking down a wall in his basement, not looking for anything particularly historical, just expanding a room. Behind that wall, he finds another room, then another, and then a narrow passage, barely wide enough to crawl through, leading into absolute darkness. He goes in, driven by pure curiosity, perhaps a touch of local legend about old tunnels. What he stumbles into isn't a forgotten cellar or a simple ancient storage space. It's an entire city, 18 stories deep, capable of housing 20,000 people and thousands of livestock, completely self-sufficient. This wasn't a structure built by design, on the surface then covered. It was carved meticulously from solid rock, straight down. For centuries, possibly millennia, it remained hidden. An entire urban sprawl beneath the earth, completely unknown to modern history. A civilization-sized secret, unearthed because a man's chickens kept disappearing into a mysterious crevice.
The initial discovery by the local resident, while serendipitous, quickly escalated. Archaeological teams were brought in. What they uncovered in Derinkuyu was not just an impressive feat of engineering, but a logistical enigma. The city's known dimensions encompass approximately 4 square kilometers, extending to a depth of roughly 85 meters. The scale is staggering. Consider the sheer volume of rock and earth that had to be excavated, an estimated 5 million cubic meters. Without the aid of modern machinery, this required an astronomical amount of manual labor. Furthermore, the discarded spoil, the material removed from these vast subterranean chambers and tunnels, has never been accounted for. There are no obvious spoil heaps on the surface, which is anomalous given the city's size. Where did it all go?
Right, the sheer volume of it. You're not just digging a basement, you're hollowing out a mountain, essentially. But it's not just the missing spoil that raises questions about the official narrative, is it? The prevailing theory suggests Derinkuyu was primarily a refuge, built by the Phrygians in the 7th-8th century BC, later expanded by Byzantines, used to hide from invaders like Arabs or Mongols. But looking at the construction, the sheer ingenuity, that explanation feels thin, doesn't it?
Indeed. While Derinkuyu certainly served defensive purposes, labeling it merely a refuge undersells its complexity and potential primary function. The architectural anomalies begin with the foundational premise. A refuge implies temporary occupation, often during periods of siege. Yet Derinkuyu is equipped for long-term, self-sustaining habitation. We see evidence of communal kitchens, stables for livestock, sufficient to house thousands of animals, their waste managed through specific channels, wine and oil presses, churches, even a missionary school. This isn't a bolt hole. It's a fully operational, subterranean metropolis. The construction techniques themselves are perplexing. The excavation shows precise, smooth cuts in the volcanic tuff rock, often in areas where leverage for conventional hand tools would be extremely limited. There's also an incredible uniformity in the width and height of the passages, suggesting an advanced degree of planning and execution, beyond what we typically attribute to Bronze Age or early Iron Age civilizations for such a massive undertaking.
So, it's not just a big hole in the ground, it's an incredibly engineered big hole, and it implies a much deeper, much more complex reason for its existence than just hiding from invaders for a few weeks.
Consider the ventilation system. This is where the engineering truly defies our conventional understanding. Derinkuyu features over 15,000 shafts, with the deepest extending down to 85 meters. These aren't random holes. They are meticulously integrated into a complex, multi-layered network. The primary ventilation shaft acts as a central artery, branching off into smaller conduits that deliver fresh air to every single level, every chamber, every living space. The air circulation is remarkably efficient. Even at the lowest levels, researchers have noted consistent breathable air quality, without the oppressive dampness or stagnation one would expect in an enclosed subterranean environment of this magnitude. Furthermore, some of these shafts also doubled as wells, connecting to an underground river, providing a constant water supply, independent of surface conditions. The integration of air and water systems demonstrates a profound understanding of fluid dynamics and geology. The precision required to excavate these shafts, ensuring they didn't collapse, intersected properly, and maintained a consistent airflow across multiple distinct levels, suggests an expertise that feels anachronistic for the suggested timeframes of its construction.
And the doors. The infamous rolling stone doors. These aren't just big rocks, are they?
Absolutely not. The circular rolling stone doors found throughout Derinkuyu are engineering marvels in themselves. They are massive, ranging from 1 to 1.5 meters in diameter and weighing up to 1,000 pounds each. These doors were cut from volcanic rock, perfectly shaped, and designed to roll horizontally into place, sealing off tunnels and passages. Crucially, they could only be opened and closed from inside the city. A small hole in the center allowed an individual to insert a wooden bar, providing the leverage to roll the stone. From the outside, there was no handhold, no purchase. Once sealed, the city was impenetrable. The precision with which these doors were carved and fitted, combined with their sheer weight and the mechanics of their operation, indicates not only a mastery of stonework, but an acute understanding of defensive architecture. They are designed not just to block, but to trap any would-be intruder, forcing them into bottlenecks where they could be easily neutralized. The existence of hundreds of these doors across the complex points to a layered, highly sophisticated defense system, far beyond a simple hide and wait strategy.
It's not just a city. It's a fortress, built like a nested doll. Layers upon layers of defense, air, water, livestock, schools. But why hide this thoroughly? What kind of threat necessitates building an entire civilization underground, out of sight, for what appears to be centuries of potential occupation? It feels less like fleeing an army and more like escaping something existential.
The scale and sophistication certainly suggest a long-term, perhaps even permanent, solution to an enduring and profound threat. The invader theory struggles to explain why an entire community would commit such resources and labor to constructing a subterranean world for temporary refuge when surface fortifications were a more common and arguably less arduous solution. Consider other possibilities. Was it protection from a widespread, possibly recurring environmental catastrophe? Prolonged periods of extreme weather, volcanic eruptions that blanketed the region in ash, or even seismic activity that made surface dwellings precarious. Or, venturing into less conventional theories, was it protection from something in the sky? The Dogon myth of subterranean cities protecting against celestial events is a fascinating, if speculative, parallel. The sheer depth and the self-contained nature of Derinkuyu point towards a pervasive, indiscriminate danger, something that affected the very atmosphere or surface of the planet. And Derinkuyu is not unique. It's connected to at least one other major underground city, Kaymakli, via a kilometers-long tunnel. In the Cappadocia region, there are estimated to be hundreds of these underground complexes, with possibly 36 major multi-level cities known, only a fraction of which have been fully explored. What if this wasn't an isolated incident, but a regional, perhaps even global response to a forgotten cataclysm?
So this isn't just one impossible building. It's potentially hundreds, all linked, all operating with a similar mind-boggling level of engineering. And they weren't found because Someone was actively looking for them with ancient maps or historical records. They were found by chance, by a farmer losing his chickens, by a homeowner renovating. This implies something profound, doesn't it? That entire epochs of human civilization, entire ways of life, could simply vanish beneath the earth, completely erased from surface history, only to resurface by accident. It forces you to question what else is down there. How many Derinkuyus are still waiting to be discovered, not just in Turkey, but across the entire planet? We talk about lost civilizations, but we always imagine them as ruins on the surface, reclaimed by jungles or desert sands. But what if the truly lost civilizations are simply deeper, hidden beneath our feet, waiting for some unwitting, accidental stumble into their forgotten world?
The implication is that our understanding of human historical timelines is incomplete, perhaps fundamentally flawed. If structures of this magnitude and complexity can remain undiscovered for millennia, then our archaeological record, based predominantly on surface findings, is inherently biased. Entire narratives, technological advancements, societal structures of these subterranean civilizations could exist outside our current historical framework. It's not just about a few missing artifacts. It's about potentially missing entire chapters of human development. The question then becomes, if Derinkuyu was stumbled upon by chance, how many more such accidental discoveries are required to reveal the true extent of subterranean human history? Or more unsettlingly, how many will remain forever buried, their stories utterly lost to the persistent silence of the earth above them?